Please join me in welcoming Cristiano Amon.
Much appreciated. Good morning, everyone. Very happy to be here, in particular in this wonderful place. Hopefully, it wasn't a hard choice to make to come to Hawaii. We're really excited about the amount of things we have to share with you today. It's a great program. I hope you like it. And most important, I think, thank you for coming. I think media from 27 countries, it's really humbling for us. Thank you for being interested in what we have to say. Apparently, there's a lot of people been interesting about what we do lately. Anyway, so I'll start talking a little bit about what we have done. So over the past 30 years, we've been driving the evolution of wireless in the industry. And we got to this point today that every smartphone contains a piece of Qualcomm technology. There are thousands of inventions at the core of 3G, 4G, but soon 5G, and that's one of the topics that I have to talk to you today. Our chipset solutions now are in billions of connected devices, and through this process, we end up becoming the number one, largest fabless semiconductor company, pushing the limits of what a fabless semiconductor company could be. But at the heart, we're a leading system innovation company, and we work with our ecosystem partners so we can deliver user experiences that are amazing, but also drive industry transitions. And when we think about what we have done and where we're going, this is one way to summarize a strategy. I think we spent the last 30 years our companies interconnecting people. And the whole transition that we had from major technology shifts from analog to digital, 3G to 4G, and then the transition to what is today, I think, the smartphone revolution. We were able to redefine computing in a mobile experience with our snapdragon SoCs, and basically with advancements in connectivity, in efficient processing, and we be able to drive this smartphone platform, which has now changed what we do, as a society. But I don't think it stops here. For the next 30 years, our mission as a company is now to interconnect everything around us by leveraging the technology that has been developed in mobile, the scale of mobile, and transform the devices that is part of our everyday lives around us, which is actually one of the major promises of 5G. And that's what I will talk to you during the day. And this transformation of devices, I want you to remember it's actually an important topic that you're going to see in the presentation this morning. It's 8.6 billion cumulative smartphone shipments between 2017 and 2021. It's one of the largest segments of the industry when you think about semiconductors and consumer electronics. It is the largest platform of mankind. When you think about where we are today, we were able to get to this by creating innovation in a number of vectors. On advanced connectivity, that is the main form of access to the internet and will continue to be, with faster connectivity leading to what we expect to be 5G in a couple years. Powerful processor, which will evolve with intelligence to machine learning, and then leading edge multimedia and graphics. And this trend of technology with the scale of the mobile platform is really creating what is the digital economy today. The digital economy started with the PC, but really reached the maturity with the smartphone. There's a data point that came in last week, which is very impressive. At a conference in China, which is the World Internet Conference, a data point came in that 30% of the China GDP is digital. And we just see now the impact of digital transformation and created by, the scale of the mobile industry, in everywhere and in the global economy. And when you look at what happened is today about 60% of the population will have a smartphone. By 2020, you expect to have about 7.5 or 7.6 billion smartphones. That's including, 60% of the entire population at any age. And the smartphone now is at the center of everything we do. It took over, in a good way, the entire consumer electronics industry. Our camera, our gaming, our music player, our video player, that's our smartphone. It started to become a very important point of how we do productivity every day. And then it holds our most personal information. Financial data, identification, health. It is part now of what we do every day. To some extent, I know folks get nervous about this, but we shouldn't. It's probably one way to say the smartphone is probably the custodian of our digital life. That's what actually gives our digital footprint on everything we do, what apps we use, where we go. And what actually happened is it is a node on virtually every network on the planet. There is no service that is B2B or B2C that you don't have a smartphone somewhere in that interaction as people use the smartphone for their apps. And that's the power of mobile technology. And that connected PC at Computex, and I think before that at WinHack in Shenzhen, we have come a long way. It's actually very exciting to get to this moment. The Snapdragon all-in-one solution SoC, which how we think about performance and power, how we think about balancing the workloads, leveraging our heterogeneous computing platform, which has about a combination of processors, whether it's CPU, the GPU, the digital signal processors, the multiple, other systems in the Snapdragon, created actually a new data point in terms of PC KPIs. Now we can talk about a new metric, which is PC standby time, like we have on a smartphone. The metric for standby time on the always connected PC, it is 5x. It's 4 to 5x the standby that you had on PCs today. With the always connected PC, we can start talking about that now. What is your standby time? And in some cases, you can get a month of standby time, which is impressive, and that's not new for the smartphone users. So that's another great achievement that I think we did together in this always connected PC. And now it's the time for you to learn what is coming and what you can get. And for that, I would like to invite to the stage the ASUS CEO, Jerry Chen.
Aloha! Thank you, Cristiano, for having ASUS at this great event. Thank you to have the Hawaii. As you know, ASUS is passionate about technology and driven by innovation. We are always in search of incredible ideas and new user experiences. For the past decades, ASUS has been transforming the PC industries with incredible innovations. We first began with the revolutionary EPC, then pioneered the world's first 2-in-1 and Windows Touch desktop, and jumpstart the ultrabook trend with our premium Genbook. Now it's time to begin a new chapter. More and more consumers expect to be mobile, to be productive, have entertainment, and connect anytime, anywhere. There is a growing demand for constant connectivity and true all-day battery life while on the go. ASUS has a history of designing beautiful devices for both PC and smartphone. So we are very well positioned to bring to life the benefit of LTE in this always connected PC category. Now, let me introduce the first ever gigabit LTE laptop. What a wonderful life with this always on, always connected PC. ASUS Nova Go. Thank you. It's the world's first gigabit LTE desktop that can deliver data speed up to 1 gigabit per second. At that speed, you will be streaming through online movies or TV series with a lag-free viewing experience. Downloading apps and content has never been so fast. This incredible feat is possible because we have included a whole carrier aggregation and whole-by-whole MIMO antenna setup for handling greater capacity, relieving congestion, and increasing data speeds. We include both eSIM and nano SIM that can be utilized for user to enjoy one device, one account for multiple devices. It is powered by a high-performing, energy-efficient Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 with an advanced 10 nanometer design, 256 gigabyte of universal flash storage, and 8 gigabyte of RAM. That can deliver, it's a perfect combination that can deliver all the horsepower you need for fast processing and excellent productivity. We have taken the short battery life and hit it out of the park. Now you can enjoy true all-day computing for up to 22 hours or 30 days on standby. As NovaGo redefines the concept of connectivity and productivity, being the world's first always on, always connected PC, always connected 2-in-1 with a stylus. ASUS NovaGo, with this one, you can enjoy gigabit LTE speeds, 22 hours of video, 30 days, over 30 days of standby, thin and light design, Snapdragon 835, and Windows Ink, Hello, and Cortana. This revolutionary laptop will be available for $599. Thank you. Thank you. We also offer an 8 gigabyte, 256 gigabyte version for $799. Thank you. ASUS is very proud to be paving the way with the Qualcomm and Microsoft to develop this new landscape, always connected, Windows on Snapdragon. I also want to give my deep appreciation, most appreciation to all of our carrier partners for helping to enable this new ecosystem and enrich people's life. Thank you, Cristiano, and thank you to all of you. Please make sure to come to our demo area to try out the ASUS NovaGo. See you next time.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jerry, for the partnership and friendship.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. This is really exciting. Actually, you know, I was clapping there as well when I saw the device and the price. It's really exciting to be able to create such transformation in this industry with our partners. But we cannot really talk about the connected PC in gigabit LTE without having our network partners, our carrier partners. So to tell you a little bit about how we're going to make this happen, I would like to invite Gunter Ottendorfer, Chief Operating Officer of Sprint.
Hallo, grüß Gott. And
for 15-watt notebooks. So the message is at AMD this year, we're all about the return to high-performance computing. High-performance computing
Lenovo at CES and for their Always Connected PC launch. And please stay tuned on January 9 for the media event of Lenovo in Las Vegas when you see what incredible things Lenovo is doing with Qualcomm and Microsoft for the Always Connected PC. This is a very exciting moment, but I fully believe it's just the beginning. So we talk about things today that changing user behavior, like don't bring your power cord, it's instant on. You know, like when was the last time you talk about smartphone boot time? Doesn't matter. And you have now a metric of standby of a month. You have beyond 1 day of battery life. You don't have to bring your tablet anymore. You just bring, your smartphone and your PC, which are your most important devices. And we are just at the beginning of what will be a multi-year effort to transform mobile computing. In addition of talking about new form factors, new methods for deploying, the networks across the enterprise and the network of the cellular system. When we talk about new data plans and how we think about mobile connectivity, new capabilities, expansion to new regions, this is the beginning because of 5G. And that's what I wanted to tell you about what 5G is. If you remember what we told you earlier about the potential of 5G, you can just take the Always Connected PC to a whole new level. With the lower latency of 5G, you rethink how people will do collaboration on a PC because of real-time interaction anywhere, anytime. You're also going to have a fundamental change how you think about connectivity. You always connected at the cloud. At 1 millisecond latency of the 5G system with multiple gigabits of data, there's a whole new concept when you think about the Microsoft OneDrive and cloud storage. And we will have the PC becoming your television because of the revolution of making media and entertainment mobile. So this is just the beginning. And as we go from gigabit LTE to 5G, we will see that transformation go to a whole new level. And I want to basically leave you with this thought. Today, as Terry mentioned in his presentation, there are significant investment made by enterprises on their own private network. And you have this concept of intranet and extranet when you think about enterprise and productivity. That will go away with 5G. The ability to have a single network and be on the internet every time in a secure environment will also change the enterprise approach to productivity. So that's why this is very exciting. We're just at the beginning, and it's going to be a great transformation as we work together to define the modern PCs. Okay, I have a surprise for you. There's going to be another guest here that you probably won't be expecting. But the message I want to leave you is everyone from the PC ecosystem that is committed to transform the computing experience into a mobile PC and the Always Connected PC is here. So I'd like to welcome Kevin Lansing, Corporate Vice President for AMD. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
All right. Thank you so much, Cristiano. Thank you to the whole Qualcomm team for inviting us. I'd also like to be the first person to officially congratulate Qualcomm and their partners on these incredible connected PC devices that we've seen announced today. I can't wait to personally get my hands on one of these devices and try it out. So what a great event. So many of you might be wondering, okay, what's AMD's presence here at the Qualcomm event? So let me start by talking about AMD. It's been a really incredible, a really event-packed year for AMD. It all started back in March when we launched our very first product based on our Zen core. We named it the Ryzen product for desktop. So we launched the 8-core Ryzen 7 product in March. And then we had a series of launches of these high-performance desktop processors through the first half of the year. And what we really wanted to do with the Ryzen desktop launch is bring innovation and competition back to the high-performance CPU market. And so we completed that rollout in August when we launched our flagship desktop product. We called it Ryzen Threadripper. And with that product, it signaled AMD's reemergence back into the high-end desktop market with up to 16 cores and 32 threads of computing. So it was a very exciting beginning of the year with all of our CPU launches. We couldn't be more pleased with the reception of those products, from press and analysts who reviewed the product, to our partners, to our OEMs, and to our end customers who have embraced AMD and Ryzen, and AMD's return to competition of high-performance computing. But we weren't done with just Ryzen desktop. The next thing that we did is we launched our Vega GPU, which in many ways is similar to the Zen CPU on the GPU side. The Vega discrete GPU symbolized AMD's reemergence into the enthusiast segment of the discrete graphics market. So by the middle of the year, we had two major inflection points of IP with our Zen core, our desktop products, and our Vega graphics products. So we weren't done yet. And maybe the most incredible feat of all, just 8 months after the first Zen CPU launched, and 4 months after the first Vega GPU launched, we combined those two powerhouse processors onto one single energy-efficient SoC. That's the product you see behind me here. We call this product the Ryzen processor with Radeon Vega graphics. And you can see here physically that we took a quad-core Zen CPU complex, and then we integrated up to 10 compute units of Vega GPU graphics onto one SoC. And with it, in late October, we launched the world's fastest processor for 15-watt notebooks. So the message is at AMD this year, we're all about the return to high-performance computing. High-performance computing in desktop, high-performance computing in discrete graphics, and now most recently, high-performance computing for notebook PCs. But why am I here? So I'm here because that high-performing processor needs world-class connectivity solutions to create the ultimate notebook. And that's why I'm so pleased to announce AMD's technical collaboration with Qualcomm to deliver the combination of AMD Ryzen notebook processors with always connected 4G LTE based on Qualcomm Snapdragon modems. Thank you. Thank you. So we actually have a long history of partnering with Qualcomm on connectivity solutions. Many of the AMD notebooks that you see in market today are based on, Qualcomm WLAN solutions integrated. But with the Ryzen notebook platform, we wanted to take that a step further. So we actually included the Qualcomm Snapdragon 4G LTE solution on our reference platform. And we collaborated with Qualcomm engineering to do full testing, validation, and optimization of that combination of that high-performance Ryzen processor with the Qualcomm modem. And what we have now as a result is the opportunity that I look forward to the most, which is to bring that validated solution to our OEM partners and work together to expand the concept of the connected PC to high-performance computing through the combination of AMD and Qualcomm. So with that, I want to wrap and say thank you so very much to the Qualcomm team for the engineering collaboration, for the opportunity to be here, and for what I know is going to come next, which is an opportunity to take the connected PC that you've all heard about this morning and extend it to more and more of the ecosystem, and most importantly to me, to AI performance processors and platforms. So thank you all very much.
Thank you,
Cristiano.
Kevin. Much appreciated.
All right.
Thank you for the partnership.
Thank you.
How about that? The always connected PC at every tier. This is great, and hopefully, we'll be able to convey to you how important and significant is this transformation. Connected intelligent devices everywhere. We're just at the beginning of that, and we intended to continue with this revolution. I also know that many of you are expecting to hear from Qualcomm today also about our next Snapdragon platform. And before we go to that phase of the presentation today, I'd like to start by taking a look at what the last 10 years have been for us in the Snapdragon platform as we celebrate the 10-year anniversary. Thank you to the Qualcomm marketing team. That's my kind of music, so thank you very much. Okay, so let's hear what's coming next from Qualcomm in our premium tier Snapdragon. I'd like to welcome to stage a long friend of mine. We've been working together for 12 years. Is the Senior Vice President and General Manager of Mobile from Qualcomm Semiconductors, Alex Katuzian.
Good morning, good morning. I'm very happy to be here with you. We got a lot of exciting things to talk about. What a great set of presentations you just saw, showing that Qualcomm technology can create a new product segment for mobile compute. But equally as important, you saw perfect examples of how Qualcomm works with our ecosystem partners to enable great products that add a lot of value to the consumer. Products that the consumer wants to buy and use every day. That's very important to note. But let's turn our attention to our next generation of technologies that we think are going to change the market and help the consumer change their behavior. But before I do that, let me take a couple of steps back and explain how Qualcomm prepares and plans for our next generation premium tier solutions. So we start 3 years before any technology hits the market. We start thinking about future use cases and what would be valuable to the consumer. And then we work our way backwards to figure out how Qualcomm technology can enable that and make that happen. And then once we have a framework and a set of specifications, we go out to our ecosystem partners and we discuss these things with them in detail. We get their inputs about what's important to them. What do they want to do to differentiate? How are they going to add value to the consumer? We go out to our mobile handset partners. We go out to the mobile carriers, the internet players, the cloud players, independent software vendors, application developers, and the hardware ecosystem vendors. We gather all that input, and we go back and start designing our chipsets. We account for every 1/10 of a square millimeter of silicon, every line of code. We start training our customers. We start putting together hardware development kits and software development kits and reference designs, and we emulate our hardware, test our software. And meanwhile, we keep in touch with all of the ecosystem partners to make sure that nothing has changed in the market, and if it has, how can we accommodate it? And then we wait for the chip to come back from fabrication. And once it does, we get into thousands of hours of testing. Testing and tuning and reiterating and working with our customers to make sure everything is perfect for their launches with a device that can bring value to the consumer. That entire process takes 3 years, as I just said. Just 3 years is a long time. Let me give you a perspective. The blue whale, which is the largest whale on this planet, takes 2 years to have a baby. It takes us 3 years to put together a premium tier solution with the help of our ecosystem partners. So out of all of those features and functions that we put together, we picked out 6 that we think are going to be very innovative in changing consumer behavior. Let me walk you through those. First, the camera. The camera is a very important feature of the phone these days because it's essentially replaced all digital still cameras. As you can see in the room, everyone's using their phone to take a picture. Today, you can capture very high quality images with extreme color clarity under any lighting condition. You can capture video the same way. But think about now capturing video in 360-degree view in Ultra HD format, Hollywood quality that you can share with anyone, anywhere. That content that you're developing is going to change social media behavior. That content that you're developing is going to be the highest data capability over wireless networks, so it's very important we get that right. Next, immersion. In both formats of virtual or augmented. Imagine losing yourself in that environment. Imagine being in that $500 seat at every concert, at every sporting event. Imagine feeling and seeing what your favorite entertainer does and acts like. Imagine being in your favorite museum or your favorite historical site or a beach anywhere in the world. Imagine places you can go and people you could see. AI, artificial intelligence. There's not a single app on the phone that AI won't touch and improve. Imagine your phone learning your habits. Imagine the phone knowing what you like and dislike and where you go and making decision-making easier for you, suggesting things that are good for you. Imagine talking to a person anywhere in the globe with real-time translation. And guys, in the back, the guys that are doing real-time translation now, you still will have a job. You're very smart. But think about that. Think about how communication would change. Imagine doing a karaoke session, which I'm proven to be very terrible at, but then when your voice comes out, it sounds like your favorite singer. That's where AI is headed. Imagine now how many more applications will get developed on top of that on a strong platform like Qualcomm's. Security. Everybody wants things that are valuable to them to be secure. Today, your phone carries your images, your identity, your health information, your credit information, your purchasing information, your passcodes. Everything's on that phone. Essentially, the phone is replacing what's in your pocket, even your keys. Imagine you never have to pull out your wallet and lose your money because it's on your phone. Imagine buying a car at a dealership without even using your credit card or a check, just your phone. A lot of people around the world use a safe in their house to keep valuables in, or they use a bank vault. Imagine a bank vault being inside your phone. Gigabit LTE. None of these applications would be possible without the connectivity. In fact, think about the speed of gigabit LTE and how much better the user experience will be with gigabit LTE. Imagine downloading a 3 gigabyte HD movie in about 3 minutes. Imagine accessing apps on the web as fast as you would on the memory of your phone. And that capability will be available anywhere at any time. Now, think about if all of these applications are available to you, but your battery doesn't last that all day long and you have to recharge. Imagine if you're a power user, maybe your battery runs out throughout the day, but then we can charge it back up in minutes. Imagine we will never leave you without your phone. Well, you don't have to imagine anymore. Introducing the Snapdragon 845 mobile platform. This chip contains billions of transistors and executes hundreds of millions of lines of code, bringing you all of these features and functions that are going to change your consumer behavior. This device is the ultimate in mobile platform capability. And it takes 3 years for us to put this together. With the help of our consumers, we're going to bring to you the best devices that are going to be valuable to the consumer use cases. Thank you very much for your time.
This is an exciting day for the industry. This is just the beginning of what we're going to talk about tomorrow. As Alex said, we're working very closely with the ecosystem and many partners that actually make this a reality. I have a special guest. They came here today, and I would like to invite Samsung to the stage. Samsung can help us fabricate and design this chip and bring all of those technologies to the mobile devices. I'd like to introduce E.S. Jung, President of Samsung Foundry Business.
On your new platform, Snapdragon 845.
Thank you for your partnership.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Actually, my name is E.S. Jung. Just ES means engineering sample. That's why I'm leading Samsung Foundry. Okay. I hope you are enjoying the time here as much as I am. It is my honor to be on this stage and also just in this beautiful and wonderful event. Looking back last 10 years, Samsung has worked with Qualcomm. I'm very happy to see that what we achieved together. Okay, just last year, and Samsung introduced the industry first 10-nanometer process, and Qualcomm introduced it's a beautiful chip, world first chip, which is amazing and wonderful chip of the year. Snapdragon 835, you know, right? Okay, then, yet now looking forward next 10 years, then I'm very much confident that Snapdragon 845 will be a chip like no other. Definitely, Qualcomm will be stronger with this chip. Let's give a big hand for Qualcomm. How about that? And the one after that, and the one after that, Qualcomm will always stay ahead of the game. I definitely confident, okay? Then, you know, I promised you, Samsung will deliver the most innovative technology to Qualcomm, and also we will give a perfect operation, and also best service for Qualcomm. And also I promised you too, as a head of Samsung Foundry, that I will expand the strategic tie with Cristiano and help Qualcomm be the most innovative company in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Is that true that
Right.
nothing will separate us?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
for coming to our event.
All right.
Thank you. You know, yes, initials means engineering sample. My name, Cristiano Amon, my initials mean commercial availability. So, now I would like to bring to stage, as we close this event, keynote. I would like to bring a very special person, which is also very excited about the Snapdragon 845. In preparation, I would like to ask all the English speakers media to put in your headsets for simultaneous translation. It is our honor to welcome to stage Xiaomi CEO Lei Jun.
Good morning, everyone.
各位早上好，
非常高兴能够
it's indeed
来
my great
参加
pleasure to
高
join
通
you
的技术峰
in the
会。
Qualcomm Snapdragon Tech Summit.
小米呢是一个非常年轻的公
Xiaomi
司。
is actually a very young company.
我们从创办之初呢，
Ever since our
就和
inception,
高通有很
we
好的
have
合作。
collaborated with
高通
Qualcomm
呢一直以
on
来
very
是小
favorable
米最
ties.
重要的伙伴。
Qualcomm has always been Xiaomi's
6
most
年
important
前
partner.
我们发布小米
6
手
years
机
ago,
1代的时候，
we launched
就采
Xiaomi
用了
One
当时
when we
高通
actually used
最强的处理器
the most
MSM
powerful
8260。
processor of Qualcomm at that time,
这
which
是我
is
们6
MSM
年前发布的照
8260.
片。
So this is a
当
picture
时的
that
手
we
机
released
1
6
G 内
years
存
ago.
就是最好的
At
了。
that time, having a
想一
1
想今天的手机
gigabit
都是8 G 内
RAM
存
was
的。
actually the ultimate
在过
choice.
去的
But now
6
we
年
are
的时
seeing
间里
mobile
面呢，
phones
我们
with
每
very
一代
easy
的旗舰
adoption
手
of
机
8 gigabit
都
of
采用
RAM.
了当年
So over the
最好的
years,
高通的处
our
理器。
flagship mobile phones all adopted the top-tier Qualcomm processors.
到今天为止，
And
我们已经销售
As of
了
today,
2.38 亿
altogether
只
sold
搭载高通处理器的小米手
238
机。
million Xiaomi mobile phones powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon processors. Last month saw the state visit by President Donald Trump to China. And at the joint witnesses of Mr. Trump and President Xi Jinping, we signed an MOU lasting for 3 years with Qualcomm. Today, for sure, I'd like to congratulate to Qualcomm on the successful launching of Snapdragon 845. We are actually announcing that we're now in the process of researching on our next premium smartphone, which will be powered by Snapdragon 845 mobile platform. While I'm sure there are people in the audience who may not be that familiar with Xiaomi, so just a bit of our own narrative. We are a 7-year-old company in the mobile phone industry. Indeed, we are one of the toddlers. After the last 2 years' efforts of, say, reshuffling our efforts, we are now back in the right track of fast-paced development. Now you can see 2 charts featuring the research results by 2 international research houses. We can see that in Q3 this year, Xiaomi is back in the top 5 globally. Well, what's actually surprised me more is that in Q3 this year, Xiaomi actually saw a growth of 112.6%, which indeed was a very impressive number. In the Chinese markets, Xiaomi is now the number 4, while in India, which is the second largest mobile phone market in the world, Xiaomi became the market leader in last quarter, namely Q3 of this year. Over the last 1 year or so, Xiaomi has made its foray into more than 60 countries, and we are among the top 5 in 12 of them. In our internationalization drive, we receive a lot of help from Qualcomm. In the last 1 year stretch, we made way into the European market. In Central Europe and also in the Middle East, we're now the number 4 in terms of the market share. This is a snapshot of our joint announcement of Xiaomi Mix 2. in collaboration and also with the joint presence of Qualcomm. Xiaomi is actually a budding entrepreneurial company. While the reason that we can be successful are that we have been very committed to our innovation in key technologies. Well, just to illustrate with one quick example, this is Mi Mix, our smartphone, which was launched in October last year, the first ever full-screen display mobile phone in the world. Its screen-to-body ratio reaches an impressive 91.3%. While in early 2014, in our internal tech meeting, we talked about the future look of mobile phones, and we thought it would be good to have a screen that actually covers the full boards of the frontal plates. And we presented this idea, and at that time, many companies were not really on board. But now we're seeing that all companies were on board, and Xiaomi is actually the ringleader for our pioneering efforts at using the full screen mobile phone design. While this year we had a mobile phone winning the Idea Gold Award, which is the most authoritative and prestigious award in the world. And what's more, in September this year, the National Design Museum of Finland officially took Xiaomi Mi Mix as a piece of its collection, for the reason that it sets the direction for future smartphone design, which I believe is a great acknowledgement and a compliment for Xiaomi Mix. Behind all the technological innovations, you see altogether 102 patents granted for display-related technologies. Over the very short span of 6 to 7 years, globally, Xiaomi has applied for altogether 23,700 patents, out of which 5,756 patents have been received. So you can see that the success of our company is actually hinged on the great foundation of great investments in technology. This year we're seeing the new generation of Mi Mix 2, which is powered by Snapdragon 835 mobile platform, also using the full screen display. It's also using what we call ceramic unibody, which is one whole piece of ceramic as the body of the mobile phone. You can now see the image of Mi Mix 2. While possibly this may not be giving you this exquisite delight of the mobile phone, thereby I'm also bringing with me an actual model. Here it is. The reason that it's glamorous is that it's actually like a jade, and it's made of one whole piece of ceramic. To me, Xiaomi is not an innovator in technology. It is also an innovator in terms of business model by boldly attempting at new things. Xiaomi is a highly innovative company, and many people fail to understand the very depth of the company. To many people, Xiaomi is perceived as a smartphone manufacturer. However, we're also working in the fields of TV, laptop, as well as more than 100 categories of consumer electronics. And in these, we have been the world leader on many different fronts, such as the mobile power bank, our, say, wristband, and also our Segway commuter, etc. We're also having many other different products in the number of more than 100. In the meantime, Xiaomi is an e-commerce title. We have our own retail business. Starting from the beginning of last year, we were also running our own franchise chain store business. So we can take ourselves as also a platform of sales. We are in the meantime an internet company offering a large array of internet services in which we have established a full-blown ecosystem. Vis-a-vis this image, you can see that we are working in retail, in hardware, as well as in internet business. It's more like what we call business model of triathlon. The benefits of this business model is that it gives Xiaomi access to a high-efficient pathway of selling our hardware products, so that we can actually develop our hardware business from strength to strength with greater quality and with greater profits. We're not actually trying to make more money by selling hardware. We're trying to be making money by using the hardware and establishing a larger platform in nationwide internet, which we believe is a more state-of-the-art business model. With that, Xiaomi can offer all of you what we call quality products with honest pricing, which are well received globally. So here comes our values. Our values stands at the fact that we are committed to making quality products with honest price.
Thank you for your attention. Special thanks to our partners. Special thanks to the Microsoft team for all they have done.